Aloha everyone, and welcome to our Hawaiian Volcano summary for October 2nd, 2025. Episode 34 became a highlight of Kilauea's ongoing summit eruption with the return of double fountains from both the north and south vents. The south vent set a record for the highest lava fountain in over 9 months of eruption thus far, reaching over 1,300 feet or 400 meters by USGS estimates, with the north vent shooting still inclined to the north here, and the south vent shooting vertically much higher into the sky and setting a record for the highest fountain. That was a V1 camera. You guys saw the time lapse for there. Here is a V3 from the reverse angle with the onset of the north fountain first and the south vent fountain shooting up off the screen here. We can note that there were over 48 hours, maybe 50 hours of precursory overflows from the north vent, over 110 overflows reported, slowing down before the main onset of vigorous activity. So you can see there the two vents and the degassing that's come into place since then. Looking from a V2 camera placed near the volcano house, this is a view for most visitors looking at the eruption. You could clearly see the height of the high fountain above the back rim of the crater lit up by the light of the glow. And moving on, we have the K2 camera, which is from the Wikahuna overlook, where visitors may have been able to even look upwards the fountain, that record high fountain, from that closest viewpoint there. Lava flows from both vents traveled across the crater floor. And here you see the two flows and made it all the way across to this far eastern side, not quite to the crater rim, but resulting in major coverage of the crater floor during this episode. In the thermal view, you can see this a little bit better. With precursor overflows coming first, and then lava flows coming next. The gas emissions from this event largely blew upwards through a fairly still lower atmosphere, with the lower atmosphere impacts coming to the southwest over the Ka'u Desert and the closed area of Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. But as you can see in this time lapse, the upper level winds brought a lot of that fog across the top of the island, even if it was not impactful for the people living on the ground. And the best view of that is from this Mauna Kea camera, which captures the onset of eruption at night. And as day breaks, you can see this big cloud of fog, which then blows away after sunrise. That is a little reminiscent of the Mauna Loa eruption back in 2022. The satellite capture shows the SO2 cloud over the south part of Kilauea and then being blown to the north over time. On the ground, conditions are pretty good. This citizen science monitoring network data from Purple Air can show us that there are low values across the island here. And there they are. Our ground tilt, which dropped in a regular pattern during the episode 34, has begun to recover in its typical rate, suggesting that another episode is likely to occur. But because it's been so soon following the recent episode, there's not a lot of data to make a prediction, with the USGS indicating that another fountain episode is possible, but likely more than a week away. As you see here, there has been a lapse in appropriations from the USGS. They continue to maintain monitoring networks and issue updates and notifications of activity, but other parts of the website may not be updated and may become outdated over time. That said, they are reporting fountain heights and volumes, and so we can see here that episode 34 had the highest fountain thus far, following a series of 5 fountains that were lower than the previous bunch. And the discharge rate of this eruption was a record high, combining both the north and south vents to about 400 cubic meters per second, or 500 cubic yards per second, which is more than double, or about double the highest rates we've seen through 9 months thus far. The volume erupted was similar to what we've seen recently at 9 million cubic meters. So if we have the same amount of volume at twice the rate, that is why the eruption lasted half as long as usual. This episode, I should say, of the eruption lasting only 6 hours for number 34. That's the summary for Kilauea. Just note from Mauna Loa, we have had a new USGS monthly update issued with the volcano still at alert level normal, color code green. Earthquake rates are relatively constant compared to last month, and the volcano continues to refill with minor inflation beneath the summit, in a pattern that's established since the 2022 eruption as magma replenishes a reservoir system. And that's our Hawaiian volcano summary for this week.